3-year-old Emma Rodriguez had slipped away from her family's camping site in Colorado's Pike National Forest when her curiosity about a colorful butterfly led her deep into dense woodland where mountain lions hunted during twilight hours. Her parents discovered her absence just as darkness began falling across the wilderness, creating a nightmare scenario where a small child was alone in terrain that harbored some of North America's most dangerous predators. But Bear, the family's protective Rottweiler mix, who had been tracking Emma's scent since she wandered away, found her just as a 150-pound mountain lion emerged from the undergrowth and began stalking the toddler with the patient, deadly focus that made these cats such efficient killers. For the next 2 hours in complete darkness, Bear positioned himself between Emma and the circling predator, using intimidation tactics, protective positioning, and sheer determination to create an impenetrable shield that would keep the mountain lion at bay until search teams could locate them both in the vast wilderness. Welcome to Saved by Tales. Before we dive into this spine-chilling story of instinct meeting mortal danger and a family dog's courage standing between a toddler and one of nature's most efficient predators, join our community of animal hero enthusiasts who understand that protection sometimes means facing down death itself when the innocent need defending. The Rodriguez family had been planning their Colorado camping trip for months, choosing a scenic campsite in Pike National Forest that offered both beautiful mountain views and established trails suitable for hiking with their 3-year-old daughter Emma. David and Maria Rodriguez were experienced campers who understood wilderness safety, but they also knew that even the most careful parents couldn't watch a curious toddler every single moment. Emma loves being outdoors, Maria often explained to other parents. She's fascinated by everything in nature: flowers, insects, animals. Sometimes her curiosity gets the better of her judgment. Bear, their 4-year-old Rottweiler mix, had been adopted from a rescue shelter 2 years earlier and had quickly become Emma's devoted protector and playmate. The 90-pound dog possessed strong protective instincts and seemed to understand that Emma required special supervision because of her age and adventurous spirit. Bear watches Emma like she's his own puppy, David observed during their pre-trip planning. That dog won't let her out of his sight when we're in unfamiliar territory. Pike National Forest was known for its diverse wildlife population, including black bears, elk, and mountain lions, that generally avoided human contact but could pose serious threats to small children who wandered into their territory during hunting hours. Emma's disappearance began innocently during the family's second evening at the campsite, when a large orange and black monarch butterfly fluttered past their picnic table and captured her complete attention. 3-year-olds possessed limited understanding of boundaries and danger, making supervision a constant challenge for parents in wilderness environments. "Pretty butterfly," Emma exclaimed as she left the immediate campsite area to follow the insect's meandering flight path into the surrounding forest. The butterfly led Emma deeper into the woods than she had ever ventured, following a route that took her away from established trails and into dense undergrowth, where visibility was limited and wildlife activity increased as evening approached. Bear had been resting near the campfire when Emma began her pursuit of the butterfly, but his protective instincts immediately activated when he realized she was moving beyond safe boundaries. The Rottweiler mix began following Emma's trail, using his superior scent detection and navigation abilities to track her progress through the forest. By the time David and Maria realized Emma was missing from the campsite, she had been gone for over 30 minutes and was nearly a mile away in terrain that became increasingly dangerous as daylight faded. Mountain lions were most active during twilight and darkness, using their exceptional stealth and hunting abilities to track prey through terrain where their natural camouflage made them nearly invisible to potential victims. Adult mountain lions typically avoided humans, but small children represented vulnerable targets that could trigger predatory responses. The mountain lion that detected Emma's presence was a mature male weighing approximately 150 pounds, with the muscle and claw strength to kill prey much larger than a 3-year-old child. The cat had been hunting deer in the area when Emma's movement and scent attracted its attention. Emma was completely unaware of the danger as she continued following the butterfly through increasingly dense forest, focused entirely on the colorful insect, and unaware that she was being tracked by one of nature's most efficient predators. Bear's arrival at Emma's location coincided almost exactly with the mountain lion's appearance, creating a confrontation that would test every protective instinct the Rottweiler mix possessed. Bear immediately positioned himself between Emma and the approaching predator, recognizing the threat level and responding with defensive behaviors that had been bred into guardian dogs for thousands of years. "Bear, you found me," Emma said happily when she saw her protector, completely unaware of the life-threatening situation that was developing around her. Bear's response to the mountain lion was immediate and professional, drawing on protective instincts that transformed the normally gentle family dog into a formidable guardian capable of facing down a predator that outweighed him by more than 50 pounds. The Rottweiler mix positioned himself in a defensive stance that blocked the mountain lion's access to Emma, while presenting an intimidating profile that communicated his willingness to fight to the death to protect his charge. Bear's deep threatening growls echoed through the forest, warning the predator that attacking Emma would mean confronting a determined defender. Mountain lions typically relied on stealth and surprise to overcome prey, making direct confrontation with an alert, aggressive defender much less appealing than finding easier targets elsewhere. But the cat's predatory instincts were strongly triggered by Emma's vulnerability, creating a standoff that could last for hours. "Good boy, Bear," Emma said softly, sensing that something important was happening, but trusting completely in her protector's ability to keep her safe. Bear's tactical positioning was sophisticated and purposeful, using terrain features and his own body mass to create barriers that forced the mountain lion to approach from predictable angles where Bear could effectively counter any attack. David and Maria's discovery that Emma was missing triggered immediate emergency protocols for lost children in wilderness areas, with Pike National Forest rangers coordinating search operations that included ground teams, helicopters, and specialized tracking resources. "We have a 3-year-old girl missing in an area with active mountain lion activity," Search Coordinator Janet Walsh briefed rescue teams. "Time is critical, especially with darkness approaching and wildlife becoming more active." The search area encompassed several square miles of dense forest where visibility was limited and terrain made systematic coverage challenging. Emma's small size and tendency to hide when frightened could make detection difficult even for experienced search teams. "The family dog is also missing," David reported to search coordinators. "Bear follows Emma everywhere and probably went after her when she wandered off." The possibility that Bear was with Emma provided some comfort to the family and search teams, who understood that a protective dog could provide both companionship and defense for a lost child in dangerous terrain. As darkness fell completely, the mountain lion's hunting instincts intensified, but Bear's protective barrier remained unbreached despite hours of patient stalking and testing by the predator. The Rottweiler mix demonstrated remarkable endurance and tactical awareness, constantly adjusting his position to maintain defensive advantages. Emma had fallen asleep against Bear's warm body, trusting completely in her protector's ability to keep her safe through the long cold night. The 3-year-old's unconscious faith in Bear's protection allowed her to rest while her guardian maintained vigilant watch against the circling predator. Bear's defensive strategy included controlled aggression when the mountain lion tested his perimeter, intimidation displays that reinforced his willingness to fight, and careful energy conservation that allowed him to maintain alertness throughout the extended standoff. "The dog's behavior is textbook livestock guardian response," observed wildlife biologist Dr. Sarah Kim when she later analyzed the encounter. Bear was using every tactical advantage available to protect Emma from a predator that could have killed them both. Throughout the night, the mountain lion made several attempts to approach Emma from different angles, testing Bear's defensive perimeter and looking for opportunities to bypass the dog's protection. Each approach was met with immediate and aggressive response from Bear, who never allowed the predator to get within striking distance of Emma. Bear's tactical awareness included understanding of mountain lion hunting patterns and attack strategies, allowing him to anticipate the predator's movements and position himself effectively to counter each approach. The Rottweiler mix's size and strength made him a formidable opponent that the mountain lion couldn't easily overcome. The standoff continued for hours, with neither predator nor protector willing to concede territory in the life and death struggle that would determine Emma's survival. Bear's endurance and determination were remarkable, maintaining peak alertness despite physical and mental exhaustion. Emma remained asleep against Bear's side, her small body kept warm by his fur and protected by his unwavering vigilance against the danger that circled them in the darkness. As first light began filtering through the forest canopy, search teams using thermal imaging equipment detected heat signatures that indicated two warm bodies in a dense thicket, approximately 1.5 miles from the family's campsite. The thermal readings suggested that both subjects were alive and stationary. "We have possible contact," radioed search team leader Mark Rodriguez. "Two heat signatures in the northwest sector, approximately 400 yards from our current position." The approach to Emma and Bear's location required careful coordination to avoid startling the mountain lion, which might still be in the immediate area and could react unpredictably to sudden human presence. Search teams used noise discipline and systematic movement to avoid triggering dangerous wildlife encounters. Bear's reaction to approaching human voices was immediate relief, but he maintained his protective position over Emma until search team members were close enough to take direct custody of the child he had protected throughout the night. The discovery of Emma safe and unharmed after nearly 12 hours in mountain lion territory was considered miraculous by search and rescue specialists, who understood the dangers she had faced. Bear's protective intervention had prevented what could have been a fatal predator encounter. "Emma, oh my God, Emma," Maria cried as she was reunited with her daughter, who was tired and hungry but showed no signs of injury or trauma from her night in the wilderness. "Bear kept me safe," Emma told her parents in her simple 3-year-old vocabulary. Big Kitty wanted to play, but Bear said no. The mountain lion's tracks were clearly visible around the area where Emma and Bear had spent the night, confirming that the predator had maintained a presence throughout the standoff, but had been unable to overcome Bear's defensive positioning. "That dog saved this child's life," observed wildlife ranger Lisa Martinez. "Mountain lion attacks on children are rare but almost always fatal. Bear's protection prevented a tragedy." Bear's successful defense of Emma against a mountain lion became a landmark case for protective dog behavior and wildlife encounter survival, demonstrating the remarkable capabilities of family dogs whose protective instincts could overcome even the most dangerous predators. Bear's tactical response to the mountain lion threat was sophisticated and effective, explained animal behaviorist Dr. Amanda Foster. His positioning, intimidation techniques, and endurance were exactly what was needed to protect Emma from a predator that could have killed them both. The story attracted attention from wildlife management agencies and dog protection organizations, highlighting both the dangers of wilderness recreation with children and the potential for family dogs to serve as effective guardians in dangerous situations. Emma's survival and Bear's heroic protection inspired enhanced safety education for families camping in wilderness areas where dangerous wildlife posed threats to children. The story was featured in camping safety programs and wildlife awareness campaigns. Bear's success shows us that family dogs can provide crucial protection in wilderness emergencies, said wilderness safety expert Dr. Robert Chen. His protective instincts and tactical abilities created survival possibilities that might not have existed otherwise. The incident also led to improved tracking and communication protocols for families camping with young children in areas where predator encounters were possible. Emma's experience in the wilderness strengthened her already close relationship with Bear, who continued serving as her protector and companion with enhanced recognition of his life-saving capabilities. The 3-year-old seemed to understand that Bear had done something extraordinary to keep her safe. "Bear is my hero," Emma often told people when she was old enough to understand what had happened during her night in the forest. "He protected me from the big kitty and kept me warm until Mommy and Daddy found us." Bear's protective behavior toward Emma became even more pronounced following their shared wilderness experience, with the Rottweiler mix maintaining constant vigilance during outdoor activities. The mountain lion encounter led to expanded education programs about predator behavior and family dog protection capabilities in wilderness areas. Bear's successful defense demonstrated that properly bonded family dogs could provide effective protection against even large predators. Family dogs like Bear can serve as early warning systems and protective barriers against wildlife threats, explained wildlife biologist Dr. Jennifer Walsh. Their protective instincts and defensive capabilities can save lives when families encounter dangerous predators. The case was featured in wilderness safety curricula and camping education programs throughout Colorado and other states with significant predator populations. 5 years after Bear's mountain lion standoff, the Rottweiler mix continued serving as Emma's devoted protector, though the family's camping adventures now included enhanced safety protocols and greater appreciation for Bear's protective capabilities. Bear taught us that our family dog is much more than a pet, David reflected during anniversary interviews. He's a guardian who will risk his life to protect Emma when she needs him most. Their story continued to inspire families and demonstrate the remarkable protective potential of dogs whose bonds with children could overcome even the most dangerous predators when courage and determination met mortal threat in the wilderness. Bear had proven that some protection came with 4 legs, unwavering loyalty, and the kind of courage that would face down death itself rather than allow harm to come to those under their care. I still think about that Colorado evening when a 3-year-old girl followed a butterfly into mountain lion territory where predators hunt with deadly efficiency in complete darkness, and a Rottweiler mix made a decision that would define heroism for the next 12 hours. If Bear had failed to find Emma's trail, if he'd lacked the courage to face down a 150-pound predator, if he'd retreated when the mountain lion began its patient stalking, Emma Rodriguez would have become another tragic statistic of children lost to wilderness predators who show no mercy to the innocent. Bear's story teaches us something profound about the protective bonds that can develop between family dogs and the children they choose to guard with their lives. This wasn't just a pet defending his territory. This was a guardian creating an impenetrable shield between his charge and certain death, using tactical positioning and intimidation that held a natural killer at bay when retreat would have meant Emma's death.